Yo, what's up guys? New Siege video, doing Siege tournament. I didn't record first video because I was still at the media weekend at that moment that I played pretty much. Well, I came back on that weekend. Good proc for that. Maybe would have been slightly of an issue if that didn't proc, but maybe. Was this a risky O? To a certain extent. Either how, so we're recording this one, playing against Aftermath Solace, and that was the first hit already. Grogging. Is it somewhat tricky to grow on some of these? Maybe is, maybe is. AF Solace was actually using a pretty interesting defense, which I was kind of thinking of before as well in a slightly different way, but using Miles. So Miles does have a certain potential to do quite a lot of damage, is to a decent amount countering a few units, but I'm not sure if these are the best pairs with it. Like, we were able to fight them a bunch of times, didn't really hold that much threat, I would say. So then again, this is LD team, previous was LD team. The more LDs I pull, the more LDs teams you will see, and in the end I'm using what I have ruined up, and therefore you see more and more LDs throughout the years. That's mainly the cause of this. Either how, pretty solid of an offense as always. I think I haven't seen this offense lose a single time. Of course, I pick it when it fits most, and in this case it does really fit. So that is a pretty solid one. Dominic's still so strong, but Lima even stronger. Then the next one, this is one of those offenses that were, or defenses that was slightly different, slightly new. Liu Mei. Liu Mei is a very strong unit for a bunch of reasons. You can build it pretty tanky, and it's just more or less like a heavy CC unit-ish, which is to a certain extent definitely an annoying unit, and which I definitely expect to be meta up on Siege for quite a bit in the remaining of the Siege tournament, but also after the Siege tournament. That's what I expect. So we have a whole bunch of guilds already using it, a bunch of guilds weren't, but it's one of those units like through recent balance patches where S3 pushes back or S2 can proc into S3. There's a lot of RNG possible with that unit, and you've probably seen it on like other videos as well. That's probably a unit that you're gonna see a bit more. And with this team, this offense, I would say I kind of underestimated her. I went for the Ayunu in this case. I'm not sure if that's really the best cause of action. Maybe I should have killed her. Not sure. I think I should have actually killed here. I decided not to kill, but I think I should have killed there. Also, the procs there pretty much full healed. And those procs are pretty deadly as well, including that one with an armor break up on the right target at that moment. So in this case, I think I should have put more effort towards CCing the Liu Mei, even though this is good CC too. So I still have pretty good potential here. But issue is S1, S2, S3. Yeah, then it's pretty much over. So Liu Mei, let's say I had a fair amount of RNG on the Lorne as well, but the Lorne didn't do all too much. However, this was pretty much a lost cause already, and it's pretty hard to come back from, I guess, especially with a Molly in the middle. And that Liu Mei went a few extra turns, let's just say. Either how, I think that the offense wasn't that bad, I just played it not that well. So, underestimated Liu Mei. Will probably not happen again. I hope. Let's see. Either out, one lose. Then going on to the next one, hitting more of those mild teams. And the mild teams is pretty susceptible to this in the first place, I would say. The Coco you see in the middle is somewhat tanky, somewhat damaging. So it can handle a hit or two, or three, or maybe even four. Who knows. But if the Coco deems to proc, it kills, which is pretty nice. Coco's pretty solid unit in general. I should just use it more in offense. I think you don't really need a Nigong in this. If you would do minus, what's called minus wind on the Coco, and you would go a Leo plus a Riley or something, you would definitely kill this offense as well, because when there's a Leo, Miles doesn't tend to do anything. So if you think about the Miles on defense, which is not bad, At least don't make it Leo food, because this one more or less kind of was Leo food, like a whole bunch of where people were Leoing it and like a whole bunch of other stuff. I think this was one of the least of their threats that they had, to be honest. But still, I would say A for effort for trying something new, that most definitely. But was it good? No. But sometimes in Siege tournament you have to try something new because everything is kind of prepared for. If you just throw in something that people already prepare for, it's not going to do that great as well. So then the next one was Hair Tide. They were spamming like a bunch of Tianlings, Hair Tides, a bunch of other things. So for that reason, I think there will be a few more Hair Tides in this video if I'm not mistaken. Like, I was trying to hit more often, more randomly, but in the end, it kind of ended up that I was just hitting a lot of Heretites, I guess. I'm not really sure how I feel towards Heritite. The issue with Heritite is that he's using his stacks when he doesn't really need the stacks. Also, thing is, for some reason, he did, like, near to no damage. Like, I expected him to do more damage. Like, he was... Sure, he did steal a good amount of the portion of the damage from Sierra there for only doing, like, 1.3k on the, what's it called? On the S1, which is not that much for my Sierra at all, but either how, it's, I don't know. I think it's kind of an old meta. It's not necessarily a bad unit, but especially this team, I think it's too well known. Like, people get used to it. It's not that special. I would definitely say Heritite has value in defense, but in different teams. Not exactly sure which, but different. Now we also, this was one of those matches like, you're not gonna believe it. No clickbait, you're not gonna believe it. Watch how this goes. So we have an armor break, late armor break though, but that's okay. No stripper, no armor breaker on that one. We do have a procer on that, which places the attack buff. It goes 1 turn, it goes 2 turns, and it goes 3 turns. So it gets rid of the Oblivion and goes an extra turn right away. That is not great. Few options to do here. Remove the shield potentially, or remove the speed buff and make him do less damage. Or, well, yeah, shield, and shield gets removed by Nasha as one anyways. Nasha passive more, actually. So, this was one of those matches I was really, like, in conflict. Like, what is the best cause of action here? Good procer on that one, though. Very good procer on that one. Did land armor break on everything. Also went 2 turns giving a stack to the Nana, which is not really great. So I could have maybe S1 there, but it went another 2 turns, so removing the Oblivion as well. And this is my savior. Double critter on both a counter and a single hit. My Tessa is actually of very high crit rate, and therefore I suddenly won the match. You probably want to watch that in replay, I'm not gonna lie, to again figure out what happened. Because I'm not gonna lie, even I was like, what the actual, how did I still win this? Because that didn't look winnable at all. Then they were also using more Shiner Martina, which in my opinion is an absolute waste of a net 5 that you can do. Because more literally does less than Triana does. Like, sorry, I have no clue who came up with this, but this is like the dumbest shit you could have come up with. Not gonna lie. Like, legit, pretty much any other speed lead would have had more potential than a Morda. You could say like, oh, Mor could stun. It's like, yeah, Triana too. But you could say like, oh, but Mor has like AoE damage, like a bunch of other units too. I feel like it's, I don't know, they had like 1 tower of this. I'm not really sure if they reused it or not, but this was really the worst team they, like the biggest food team they had, because it's literally Shiner Martina, or yeah, Shiner Martina Triana, but weaker. I was like, why are they actually drafting this? Like, I have no clue. Not sure who came up with that idea, but guess someone's gotta get fired. No, I'm just joking. Probably it was with good intent, but either how. Didn't work out. They should have tried to track the Windy Lulith, because it's like literally the most meta offense in the game against Shiner Martina. If that works on the new Shiner Martina you're making, probably a trash defense. So that is that for that one. Then the next one was another Heritite, and Heritite having Res lead, me going in with Act lead. Still resisted all. I think there was like 60 AC on that thing. Probably his max accuracy, but then again, you don't really expect 3 rests right away. Either how is not that big of an issue because he's never going to do his skill if he's below 3 stacks, if I'm not mistaken. So if on 2 stacks, he would never do his, what is it, 3rd skill, 2nd skill? What the fuck does he even do? 3rd skill. I think the pass is on the 2nd, right? Yeah. So for that reason, I think it was pretty fair to say. Also, he would by best steal the attack of Iris, which is not that much. Like even on an attack buff stolen unit, armor break still only doing 22k because Iris is mainly based off HP, speed, and defense. Sure, he's taking defense, but the attack is very minimum. So therefore, this team I would say holds pretty high value, and therefore was a pretty simple clear. Then the final one, well, I had to go out with a banger, and like I said, my LDs are ruined up, so I had to go in with LD, so why the hell not? Did make a slight mistake of not re-ruining the monkey and not making it slower, but in the end, doesn't really matter all too much, I would say. Also, in case you're wondering, like, oh, why does he go in with like these kind of units? Actually, everything had max accuracy in this case because of the monkey having a 41 accuracy lead, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So with that reason, we stun it. No stunners though. I don't know. I feel like this hair type was really weak. Like sure, hair type does need a lot of stats. Like technically, it's one of the few units that needs all the stats. No, wait, it doesn't. Well, I can use accuracy as well. Yeah, if you think about it, you want a max res, I would say. You need speed, you need HP, you need defense, you need attack, you need crit rate, you need crit damage. And you also need somewhat accuracy if you want to land as once. So name any units in the comments that needs every skill or like every stat including resistance. There's pretty much none. I think Hairtight is the only one now to think of it. Either how, that was a solid 9-1. Did underestimate the Liome. But still good play, and that is round 3 for, or no, we're going to round 3 after this one, so round 3 will be against Aftermath Legends. They got the 2 legend titles for the last 2 times. So they have good odds to take it again. However, we're going to make them have a difficult time. And let's see how that goes next week on the Monday. Either how, guys, thanks for watching. And see you in the next one.